Tonight in Ring of Honor, I, Jay Briscoe, will go one-on-one with Spanky, one of Shawn Michaels' top wrestling students.
Come on, Jay. It doesn't matter who you wrestle tonight. The question is, are you going to win?
Jay Briscoe has been chomping at the bit for a second opportunity at Ring of Honor. Remember, at the Era of Honor begins, he lost to Red, a rival. Not a loss he should be ashamed of, but nonetheless a loss. He wants nothing more than another opportunity, which he has tonight against Spanky.
Spanky, the fun-loving Spanky, the man that won a contract at the debut Ring of Honor show, the man that flew from San Antonio this time instead of driving 26 hours.
No 26-hour car rides with Rudy.
No way. Trust me, that's not a fun ride. Not that I ever rode with Rudy.
And Spanky, from what we saw earlier, really didn't seem to be taking this match too seriously as he was dancing in front of the camera and clowning around in the locker room.
See, I think I figured out Spanky. He seems like he's, free-spirited, doesn't take things serious, but the man wins a lot of matches, and he won last month, and, he's got the he with all the boys because they don't think he takes this serious, but the man is a great professional wrestler.
Absolutely. Nobody likes him the way that he rubs it in their face, but that is not what Ring of Honor is all about. He sheds that attitude, but he drops it as soon as he enters the ring here, especially tonight during this match with Jay Briscoe.
The young Jay Briscoe, a kid that's only going to get bigger and stronger and meaner. This kid is really good. This kid is a future superstar.
Absolutely, a regular partner along with his brother Mark. Mark, who was at ringside for this match, I heard him giving his brother a little bit of a hard time last month after he lost to Red.
That's right. There's always a rivalry with brothers. And these two brothers, the Briscoe brothers, their rivalry goes back to when they were little kids. I mean, they fought over everything. Football, baseball, volleyball, Nintendo, Atari, and everything. These kids just fight.
You're looking at right now two wrestling prodigies. Of course, Jay Briscoe just coming up on his second anniversary as a pro in this sport. Spanky only a couple of years into this sport, but both men have accomplished more in such a short time than some have in an entire career.
Exactly. If these guys have accomplished what they have in such little time, imagine what their careers are going to be in 10 years.
Absolutely. Spanky right now, look at him going up and under, reversing it on Jay Briscoe. Spanky, a graduate of the Texas Wrestling Academy, taught by the great Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Maestro cradle and a roll-up, not enough.
And Spanky goes outside the ring, catch a quick breather. Jay Briscoe goes in the corner, catches a breather. He's not going to let Spanky intimidate him.
Right, Jay Briscoe seemed to get a little bit out of his game last month. Got frustrated at times with the Red in the ring. Jay Briscoe tonight seems extremely focused in this matchup with Spanky. And you are correct when you say that this crowd's still in awe of what they saw in the last match with Chris Marvel and Paul London. And I'm sure everybody, including you, Carino, wish Chris Marvel a speedy recovery.
Sure I do.
What? Jay Briscoe now in control of Spanky. Jay Briscoe just holding on. Spanky and Jay Briscoe chain wrestling in the ring, putting on a clinic here. Jay Briscoe now goes to the hammerlock. Jay Briscoe, of course, he wants to hit that Jay Driller. That is a version of the Tiger Driver 91. He wants to hit that. He wants to plant the head of Spanky square into the mat. Spanky, on the other hand, wants to nail that sliced bread number 2. Whoever nails each other's maneuver first is going to be the winner in this match. I'm going on record.
Well, thank God you're going on record there. I think Spanky has the experience to win this match, but Jay Briscoe also has the size and the determination. He lost in the first Ring of Honor show to Red. He doesn't want to lose twice. This man's intense. This man wants to win.
How about the words between Michael Shane and Spanky during the Era of Honor begins? You know it's not over between those two.
Those two are just like brothers. They're just like the Briscoe brothers. They can never get along. They always are fighting. They're always competitive against each other.
Absolutely. Spanky very agile, as is Jay Briscoe. Jay Briscoe more the grappler. Spanky more the high flyer. Absolutely like the match we saw last month with Jay Briscoe and Ray. Jay Briscoe crotched to the top rope. Big right hand by Jay Briscoe. Goes underneath with the shoulder. Holds
nice
on.
Takedown.
Yeah, holds on to the Oklahoma wall there. Spanky looks a little disheveled at this point.
And listen to the crowd. The crowd coming alive a little bit here.
The crowd definitely getting back into it. Spanky may be setting up for that sliced bread number 2 early. No. Jay Briscoe, of course, remember last month, he took Red off the top rope with that Fisherman's Buster. It looks like he's going for that Jay Driller off the top rope.
No! Right on his face!
He may have broke his jaw with that move.
Oh, and you get on me about the breaking jokes.
All right.
Did I tell you I was a breakdancer once?
No. Spanky now springs up, drives a knee right into the back of Jay Briscoe.
Spanky's got to get on top of him for the 3 count if he wants to win. Be 2-0 here, Ring of Honor.
Spanky, of course, as you mentioned earlier, won a contract here at Ring of Honor representing the Texas Wrestling Academy. Did the Academy proud, as he is doing here tonight.
He did the Academy proud, but how many of his fellow students were a little bit jealous that they had to ride 26 hours back to San Antonio?
I'm sure they all were. Look at Spanky coming off his feet with that elbow. Now applying a chin lock on Jay Briscoe. Going to wear him down. Again, going back to the mat. They're doing a lot of mat wrestling in this one.
Well, you got to wear Jay Briscoe
Easy
down.
for you to say, Steve.
I'm excited. This is a great match. You got to wear Jay Briscoe down because he's bigger. He's stronger. If you get him on the mat, he's small then.
Jay Briscoe, of course, Spanky has had a lot of counters for Jay Briscoe's offense. Jay Briscoe looked like he was going for that Fisherman's Buster. Maybe Spanky wasn't clowning around as much as we'd like to think. Spanky now setting up for something here, saying it's over early. Spanky drops the boots right to the square of the face of Jay Briscoe. Look at him dancing in there, dancing.
Taking a little too much time there.
That dance may have cost him the match. Spanky is just arrogant. He is arrogant. He is cocky. It was only 2 months into his career, and when he won his first title, defeating his trainer Rudy Boy Gonzalez with the help of American Dragon, winning that Texas Wrestling Alliance television title.
And trust me, beating Rudy Boy Gonzalez is not an easy thing.
And Steve, you know about success earlier in your career. How does Spanky keep himself in line, keep himself in check, and not let all of that early success go to his head?
Well, that's a main problem with the young kids today. They get too much too soon. And I don't want to see a kid like Spanky, who's got all the potential in the world to be #1 here in Ring of Honor, let it go to his head. Because when it goes to his head, that's when you start getting beat. You start getting beat because you think you're better than everybody else. Instead of knowing you're better and respecting everybody, when you think you're better, that's when you start making mistakes.
Poor Spanky goes for that Russian leg sweep and goes right back to work on that neck. Spanky, of course, has wrestled extensively over the last several months in California, spent a lot of time down in Memphis, and you know about what it's like to be down in Memphis and everything that you learn down there.
Like I said, Memphis makes a boy a man.
And Spanky using the leverage of Jay Briscoe against him. Jay Briscoe now has to be feeling it. Spanky keeps working on that jaw.
Spanky wisely hooks the leg. See, he gets serious when he has to get serious. You see Mark Briscoe looking on, cheering his brother on.
We're going to talk about serious. That's Mark Briscoe. Look at the look on his face. Spanky now setting up for that sliced bread #2. And Jay Briscoe, no.
Oh my goodness, did you see his forehead pop off? The turnbuckle turnbuckle.
Wait a minute, Spanky is busted open. His head.
Oh my goodness. Spanky is lacerated. Something fierce here.
Hey, that head of Spanky's hit the steel post. There was nothing separating the head of Spanky between that steel post, and right now he is cut open in a bad way.
Oh, this isn't good.
And Jay Briscoe did nothing to help Spanky by dropping him on his head with that German suplex.
Spanky needs to get out of this situation real quick. Jay Briscoe needs to take advantage. He's got to go to the head. Open up the cut a little more, because when you lose blood, you lose energy. And if he keeps him up and keeps going to the cut, he's going to win this match pretty easily.
That's exactly what he's doing here. Jay Briscoe seems to be rejuvenated at the sight of Spanky's blood. Big drop kick there.
But instead of going for the high finesse maneuvers, he should be going punch him right in the head. That's what I would do.
There he goes, big snap suplex.
No!
That sit-out cord buster.
Right on his forehead.
And the more this match continues, the more blood that will be lost by Spanky.
Spanky is in big trouble here, losing a lot of blood. And trust me, as a man that has lost a lot of blood in my career, I know what it does. It weighs you down. It wears you down. And you do not know where you're at. You lose consciousness. You feel weak. And Spanky's feeling weak right now.
But talk about a wrestler like Spanky, who likes to go off the top rope and likes to fly around. How about the vision being impaired by all the red in front of his eyes?
That's right. You do not know how it is to be blinded by blood. You can't get that blood out of your eyes.
Spanky now looks like he's going on instinct. Big leg lariat.
Exactly right. He's going on instinct right now. He's trying to get his wit. That blood is in his eyes. He's got to get it out of his eyes if he wants to win.
Spanky now taking a page out of the book of Sayama Tiger Mask there. Jay Briscoe absolutely stunned. No, big Yakuza kick by Jay Briscoe.
But did Spanky get out of the way in time? He may have caught it a little bit, but Spanky's waiting right back up. I think the kick may have only got half of the intensity that it should have.
But if that kick connected right on that cut of Spanky, that means the blood is going to flow out even more so. Jay Briscoe now setting him up for that big fisherman's buster. Once again going for it. Now he's climbing the ropes up top. And Spanky pushes Jay Briscoe off. Spanky going on instinct.
Stiff forearm right to the jaw has Jay Briscoe down to the floor.
Spanky right now in survival mode. He has himself perched on the rope. Springs up. Oh! Top rope suicida.
Beautiful, beautiful, but he's got to get him in the ring if he wants to beat him. There's no countouts here. If the referee deems fit, he could disqualify both these guys for being on the floor too long. He's got to get Jay Briscoe back in the ring if he wants to pin him.
The referee, of course, also has the ability to stop this match if the blood continues to flow out of the head of Spanky at this kind of a pace.
And referee Mike Heater has seen a lot of blood in his time, so he will know how much Spanky can take.
Spanky now with the big splash. Jay Briscoe got his knees up. Maybe it was that blood blinding Spanky that caused him to go for the splash and then wind up getting caught on the knees of Jay Briscoe.
Eric, I totally agree with you. Oh, right on the back of his neck.
Big power bomb, and Jay Briscoe hangs on.
Very smart. Mark Briscoe cheering his brother on. Jay Briscoe, big mistake. Do not argue with Mike Heater. Mike Heater's one of the best officials in the wrestling industry. He's got to stay on Spanky if he wants to win this match.
That is the same thing that Scoot Andrews did last month. We know how his match ended. Jay Briscoe counters to slice bread number 2. Spanky continues to go and slice bread number 2. And
He got him! He got him!
Jay Briscoe
Covered him!
off the mat.
And he got the win!
What an amazing victory here tonight by Spanky. Talk about the effort of Spanky, blood and all.
That's right, Eric. And Spanky is now 2-0. The man that won a contract last month is 2-0 here at Ring of Honor.
Mark Briscoe now comes into the ring to talk to his brother a little bit. Spanky has a lot of blood that continues to flow out of his head. What effort by Spanky.
We're going to have to get Spanky down to the doctor or stitch that head up because that cut is wide, that cut is deep. You do not want that thing being infected. This guy wants to come back next month and be, what's Mark saying?
He's holding 2 up. I think he's mocking him for losing 2 matches in a row.
Maybe he thinks it's a 2 count. Eric, don't put words in other people's mouths.
And there
are trouble.
There, of course, the code of honor upheld in this matchup. And Spanky continues to dance, blood and all. You have to love the handshake between Spanky and Jay Briscoe.
And even though Jay Briscoe's 0-2, this isn't the last we've heard of him.